Hey guys, Joe here with Deptford Fence, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about subcontractors. So up until about a month ago, and this is the first week of August, we did not use subcontractors. Reason for it is we simply didn't need them. We typically run 2 to 3 crews and everything works well. What we've had this year because of the coronavirus, and you wouldn't think there would be that many fences sold, and we didn't think so either, but it's actually drastically increased the amount of fences that are being sold right now. Couple that with my guys, along with the coronavirus, if someone is sick at all, they don't work. Before, if they had the sniffles, not the sniffles, but if their belly hurt or whatever else, and obviously they just came to work. But now, because of the coronavirus, you don't want to take any chances, so then we're losing crews. They have a sore throat, whatever it may be. So between that and then the increased sales and increased demand, we needed to have more crews. And for me, I am very dedicated to my employees, so I did not want to hire any more crews and then come wintertime, it's like, oh, I don't have any work for you. So what we did is I reached out to past employees and other contacts I had, and the result was I ended up finding 3 different subcontractors that we work with. They typically work, a job or 2 a week for us in between working for other companies. And I will let you know firsthand, the one area that we really differ from any other company is just because we're using a subcontractor does not mean you're dealing with basically 2 companies at that point, because that's where most people do not want a subcontractor. Because what ends up happening typically is you basically buy the material from so-and-so company, and they hire a subcontractor to install the job for you. And then if there's an issue with the installation, they basically tell you, well, tough, because you bought the materials from us, there's no defect, so you're going to have to go to the subcontractor when you thought you were hiring the original fence company, right? So we do not do that. When you hire Deptford Fence, whether it's through one of our employees or one of our subcontractors, you are covered by Deptford Fence. So if there's an issue, typically the subcontractor will go out, but actually we have not had, we had one minor issue, went back out, fixed it, dunzo. Sorry, dunzo, like my son's 9 and that's whatever. So anyway, if you have an issue, you call us, we actually take care of you. After you pay, we don't ghost you, like, we're here. The labor warranty for us is for 3 years, and typically if something's going to happen, it's usually for a gate settling, something like that, and usually that'll happen in the springtime after everything starts thawing out. But again, if you have an issue, you call us, we take care of you. Also, what we've started doing, because there's always backlash with using subcontractors, and I understand, because I've hired companies before and there was an issue and it's back and forth. But again, you don't deal with that with Deptford Fence. But we do send out an email and say, look, we do use subcontractors depending on the workload and whatever's going on, and if you prefer to have a Deptford Fence employee, just please let us know. So in that case, you would just be, if you want to use a Deptford Fence employee, which is fine, we still have the 2 crews running, as long as they don't have the sniffles or tummy ache, and they will, we'll take care of you that way. So I just want to kind of address that, because I felt like it might be misleading if we did not. But I will say these guys are awesome. And just a tidbit of information in my philosophy real quick. And I turned off the car and it's like 90 degrees outside. I'm dying in here. But anyway, because I'm picking up Indian food. And if you haven't tried Nimitz, there's one in Stratford and one in Voorhees. Awesome food. Thanks to Charles, previous customer that told us, and he just emailed us because his tree fell down on his neighbor's property, so we had to quote for him, and he's like, by the way, I'm getting Indian, so of course I'm getting Indian food today. Anyway, back on track. In my opinion, what I found from these subcontractors, they are actually, in my opinion, a step above my employees. Not that my employees aren't great, they're awesome guys, but when it comes to employees, when basically their job is they come in, they know the job's going to be there, they install the fence, everything's great. They don't have to worry about the trucks, the trailers, stuff breaking down, the equipment, whatever else. And of course, like, no one says easy on the equipment as I would like, but I understand because they're just an employee. But when you start dealing with subcontractors, they have to be more well-rounded, because at that point they're dealing with their own trucks and equipment. They have to deal with their own insurance. So if there's a mistake and they have to go back, well, it's really costing them a lot more money than it would be for my employee. Okay, because in my philosophy, there's basically 3 stages of employees, owners, whatever. So you basically have your employee. Next step would be a subcontractor. Step above that would be an owner. And a lot of guys, and looking back at it now, if I was still installing my own fences, I probably wouldn't own my own company. I'd probably be a subcontractor, just because there's a lot more issues as an owner, but there's some issues as a subcontractor. But, you know, long story short, I know I rambled, sorry. It's hot and I'm sweating and I'm sure my face is red. But if you go with Deptford Fence, and I hope you do, obviously, because of our proven track record and blah, blah, blah. But if you go with us, whether you have a Deptford Fence employee or a subcontractor, please know that you are covered either way, and we wouldn't have it any other way. So I hope you have a great day, and hopefully we talk to you. And just real quick, if you decide to end up going with Deptford Fence, here's our process, which is a lot different than anyone else, and we had to do this because of the coronavirus, because it was so busy. And basically what it is first you want to go to Deptford Fence. It'll say step 1, step 2, step 3. Basically step 1 is to find out how much your fence would cost using our online price tool. It takes like 3-4 minutes. It'll spit out a ballpark price, and just to give you a general idea. After that, step 2 would actually be the call or to email us, which there's a special number once you do the online price tool, and it will, at that point, we can give you a, I would say a 95% accurate quote before we even go out there. After you do that, if you still would like to move forward and based upon that price, you're thinking about going with Deptford Fence, at that point, we would do an on-site consultation. Now, for that, we do charge $75 for us to come out. However, before you turn this off because you think I'm nuts, if you end up going with Deptford Fence, then that price will be rolled into the project, so it would be free. Also, if something happens and our measurements are just totally screwed up, and like we tell you it's gonna be 5,000 and then we come out, it's like, oh, by the way, it's gonna be 6,000, rest assured you're either gonna get an email or a phone call immediately and says, look, we're gonna refund you your $75, something, I don't know what happened, but you know, your price is gonna be this. And at that point you decide whether or not you want to move forward with us. Again, we hope you do, but know that if something's screwed up, we just immediately refund the money, because we don't want to seem shady or anything like that, because we don't really want your $75. We really want your project. So hope you have a great day. I'm gonna go get my Indian food again. Nimit, Nimit, in Stratford or in Voorhees. Awesome. See ya. Bye.